Hello and welcome. I am Exit Light, and this is my podcast, Enter Night, Enter Night, and I'm here with my BFF, Robert Kane. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Jason. Hello, everybody that's tuning in to listen to us this evening.
Hi, guys. What are we here to talk about today, Rob?
Well, we're going to be talking about something that really makes me happy. It doesn't take much to make me happy, but I'm always happy talking about Bigfoot. So,
Ah,
so yeah, now you know.
now we know. I'm going to set a timer, okay? So, uh, hey Siri, set a timer for 35 minutes. All right. We got 40 minutes, but I want to give us plenty of time. So I did a video on the recent cluster of Bigfoot sightings. Did you watch that video, Rob?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
You didn't
I've,
watch it in preparation for our
I've been
podcast?
I've been watching other stuff about Bigfoot.
Oh. Okay. Well, as long as you're watching other people's videos, that's great. Good for them. I hope you gave them a thumbs up. Um, so what we're going to talk about is there's been a whole bunch of new sightings of Bigfoot, big clusters of sightings. And we're going to talk about the new documentary that came out at South by Southwest in March. By the way, South by Southwest is held here in Texas, in Austin, and they release new documentaries, new music. Um, it's a big festival, and this one was obviously the hit of the festival because, everybody has a vested interest in Bigfoot. Is it true? Is it not true? So I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about your thoughts on Bigfoot.
Right. Well, before I start, if you've got this far in the video and you've not hit like, well, you need to start hitting the like button because you've got this far. You're obviously enjoying it. So if you can, it does the channel a big favor. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Right, Bigfoot. I believe Bigfoot is real. I think he is a missing link. I think that it's when you're looking at the disappearances in the national parks. I'm not saying one is proof that the other is true, but I think that Tracy has done so many videos on national people going missing in the national parks. The two and two are a bit joined for me. I don't know what you think, Tracy, but I just think they just joined together too much.
Well, yeah, I think that that's a possibility. I know that in one of the very first missing um, children in the national park, he had been there. His parents and some friends of theirs had been setting up camp, and the kids were playing,
Oh,
and
yeah,
they went to hide from their parents. Remember this one? And
yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember it now.
yeah, so for other people, the kids were called out, to come in, and one of them didn't, a little boy, and so they were looking for him, couldn't find him, completely gone. A couple miles down the road, and a little while longer, another little boy saw what he described as a big, hairy animal carrying a little boy over his shoulder. And I think that was probably the first national park incident that people now connect with Bigfoot. The thing also about that incident was that within 15, 20 minutes, they had the military there,
mm,
and they had helicopters, and they had soldiers who were loaded to the teeth to get whatever had taken this boy. So my personal opinion is they already knew that this was there. Another incident had happened just up the road, another disappearance of a child. So I think that if you don't go in loaded to the teeth with the military, first off, you have to be invited by the governor of that state for the FBI to come in. Otherwise, or the police department of that state. Otherwise, they can't go. Um, Kidnappings are not in general a FBI issue unless it's, across state lines and whatnot. And he hadn't even been like no, he hadn't even been called kidnapped at this point. He was just
yeah,
missing
yeah,
for a short time.
mm,
And then, the other boy saw him on this big animal's shoulder. So it's very weird to me that within 15 minutes the military was already there, and they were, had their weapons drawn and walking around. And then of course the weather changed and it got really bad, so they had to stop the search, which, as we know, for 411 cases,
yeah,
um, that's the way it goes. It's out of nowhere, there's gonna be a bad storm. And I think that we talked about this, that every civilization around the world has their own version of a Bigfoot or a
yeah,
Sasquatch or a Yeti.
mm,
These were civilizations that had no contact with each other,
mm,
and yet they still have these same reportings that go back, I mean, thousands of years. So I don't think that you can say that there is something. There is something. And we always talk about the fact that, a lot of the cryptids, they are reported being exactly the same in different parts of the world.
yeah,
In ages where, you know, indigenous people lived, there was no modern conveniences, and they still come up with the same cryptids, and which, you know, Bigfoot is. And so I think that you have to put some weight into that. Also, I think that national forests have a reason to downplay it.
of course they have.
They
Yeah,
make billions of dollars a year for this country. And if they were to come out and say, you know, um, that this is true, that there's something out there, nobody would go. I don't go,
mm. Do you know
right?
what? Do you know what pisses me off?
Hmm.
You said when you was telling the story, and you said a little boy, I think, saw it being carried on the
Mhm.
shoulders of a bit
Yeah,
of let's call it right, a Bigfoot.
yeah, yeah,
Why don't we believe kids?
right. Yeah,
Why do we just think? I mean, I know the army came in,
yeah.
but why do we dismiss what children say as they're making it up or they've imagined it? It pisses me right off that.
That pisses me off too, and that goes over through all kinds of um, topics, like seeing their dead relative, or
Mm,
one of my daughters used to say she saw angels in the corners of our house, and and all three of my kids, well, no, I guess all four of them had seen, you know, what are the black figures called? What is that?
shadow figure.
Shadow figures. We never shut that down. We never said, no, you didn't,
Mm,
to make them less afraid or whatever. My grandparents, who were evangelical preachers, said, "Don't shut that down. That is a blessing," which caught me a little bit off guard, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And yeah, I think that we just think the kids will be making something up. But this child was like 6 years old and had no reason in the world. They didn't know about the kid gone missing up the street. They didn't know about it. So he had no reason in the world to even make something up.
The fact that he was only 6, that adds to his story.
Yeah.
Why he's not just gonna go outside and just think, what shit can I make up today? Oh, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I make up this, and the little boy goes missing by a
Who's
Bigfoot.
who's probably never even heard of a Bigfoot, by the way, back
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry.
I want you to talk about the Dyatlov Pass and that photo before I get into talking about the documentary that came out at the South by Southwest, and I'm going to read what their intentions were with this documentary, which I will admit I took wrong when I first heard what their documentary was about, because I thought they were just trying to disprove like Bigfoot in general. But as it turns out, they were just trying to they have what proof to disprove the um the most famous video of Bigfoot ever, which is the Patterson and Gremlin film. And that was their objective. So I'll talk about that in a little while if you want to go ahead and talk about um the Dyatlov Pass.
Yeah. Do you know? Before I do, are you sure you've got the right name for that film? It,
What what film?
the Bigfoot film.
It's called Capturing Bigfoot.
No, the person that filmed it, the name of him.
Patterson Gremlin.
Right. Are you sure it wasn't the Zavruga film? Because I'm sure when Kennedy got shot, there was some Bigfoot on the grassy knoll with a rifle.
You're right.
I've
You're
just solved
right.
two. I've just solved two crimes in one go.
You know what? You might be starting something new, a new trend. It could be a new trend. There were some trees.
Yeah.
He could have been, it's very likely. Yeah.
Anyway, the Dyatlov, Dyatlov Pass. Basically, it was 1959. There were 9 experienced hikers, outdoory people. Really, really, they were only young, but they were very experienced. And basically, they wanted to um, they wanted to go hiking. The weather was bad, and basically, none of them survived. They were all found. Bearing in mind it was freezing, they had tents and everything like that, and they were experienced outdoor people, hikers, skiers,
Mountain climbers.
rock climbers. Yet they were all found in various points of undress outside the tents, um, beaten very, very badly. Some of them, things like their tongues had been removed, and I think their eyes as well, and their basically the soft. Sorry to be graphic, but the soft bits of people's bodies were missing: tongues, eyes, ears, and they tried to say it was. Firstly, they tried to say it was the local people who were sort of nomadic people that lived in this area. They basically said, "Well, it wasn't us. We warned them, told them not to go where they were going to go. We told them not to," and so they got ruled out. And then it was hypothermia, and there's a special type of hypothermia that I can't remember what it's called, where you you're that cold, you start to feel like you're hot, and you do take your clothes off and end up freezing to death and dying of hypothermia.
Hmm.
Um, some of them did die of hypothermia, and some of them died from their injuries.
One of them
But
was found in a tree.
in a tree, yeah. Um, and they basically we're not talking about iPhones on cameras on iPhones. This is when they used to have to put an actual film in a camera.
Hmm.
And then they were taking photographs all around the little campsite. And the last sort of, I think they were just taking random photos to end the film. They took a photograph.
I'm sorry, can I say something right here?
Yeah, of course you can.
And
Yeah.
their tents were ripped to shreds.
Oh, yes, yes, they were. Yeah, yeah, they were absolutely decimated. Um, yeah, they were. It was a horrendous. Must have been a horrendous scene.
Hmm.
Um, but the photograph there's a picture or a figure stood, a big dark coloured figure stood about 100, 200 yards away, and they've been able to, from the height of the hikers as an average height, they can tell you how tall something is in the distance, and this figure stood at about 7 or 8 foot tall. If you work out the fractions of work out the different, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm so you know where I'm coming from.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so no one's been able to explain that at all.
Well, that's scary.
And
And
can I
like you
just
said,
say,
back in the day, you would take your film out of your camera, you'd put it in a little container, and then you'd drop it off at your
yeah,
local
yeah,
film processing place. So you wouldn't even see the pictures for about 2 weeks.
yeah, it used to be about that long, didn't it? Yeah,
Yeah. So they wouldn't if they hadn't caught that in their film. It's not like today where you can like use your phone and zoom in and go, "What the hell was that?"
yeah, yeah,
Well, I want to talk about the documentary.
yep,
Okay. So, the recent documentary, commonly referred to as Proving Bigfoot is a Hoax, is called Capturing Bigfoot. It was directed by Mark Evans. And while the film does not claim to disprove the existence of the creature as a species, it aims to conclusively debunk the Patterson Gremlin film from 1967, which has been the primary proof for Bigfoot believers for over 50 years. The documentary presents several key pieces of evidence. The first one is unearthed rehearsal footage. The film features a previously unseen 16 millimeter reel discovered in a Boeing film lab in 2022, which appears to show a test run for the famous clip filmed in 1966. It depicts a man in a Bigfoot costume standing alongside Bob Gremlin, who's on horseback. Number two, Roger Patterson's son, Clint Patterson, appears in the documentary to claim that the encounter was a staged hoax. He states that his mother knew it was fake and that he witnessed his father burning the Bigfoot suit in a barrel piece by piece. Number three, the documentary explores how the original footage was processed and used as a lucrative business for the Patterson family for decades. So, Capturing Bigfoot premiered at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival in March of 2026, but as of mid-April, it's seeking a distribution deal and hasn't gotten one. Community reaction. The film has caused significant division in the cryptid community. Some researchers, like Matt Moneymaker of BFRO, have dismissed the claims, arguing that the realism of the original creature exceeds 1960s special effects. You can find discussions on the fallout of this film on platforms like r/Bigfoot subreddit or the Skeptical Inquirer. So it's long been thought that it was possible that they had faked that. But scientists have looked at that over the years and said um, that it's not a human's way of walking, right?
Mm.
But if they found practice video and his own son says that they knew it was fake and that he saw his father burning that costume, that lends credibility to the fact that it could be fake.
But don't you th- don't you think right? Okay, this case couldn't we have a scenario where there could be two things that are right? I know people say you can only have one right and one wrong answer, but maybe there's two things that are right here.
Mhm.
Maybe it was a fake.
Yeah,
Maybe it's right. It was a fake. But that doesn't mean Bigfoot is not real. It just
that's right.
means that on this occasion they faked it.
So that's right, and that's what it says. I might have missed that part where it says that the film does not claim to disprove the existence of the creature as a species. It aims to conclusively debunk the Patterson-Gremlin film
He
from
did say, yeah,
1967.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah. I'm an idiot.
and no, that's no, I've read a lot there. Um, so yeah, it doesn't debunk the fact um that there are Bigfoot. There has been a lot of people who have claimed to have seen Bigfoot. And these clusters that were happening in Canada, they were all basically in the same area. And so here's something I didn't know about Bigfoot sightings. Apparently, there are wood knocks, like like you
Yeah,
hear knocking
yeah,
on. Okay, I didn't know this,
yeah.
but so these Alex, with the exception of one, said that they heard the wood knocks. They had a dog who um went nut job on what turned out to be what a, possibly a 10-foot um figure, Bigfoot. And the group that verifies these things said that dogs reacting before their owner sees something is um one of the top list on the list of things that make things credible. That is one of the things that makes things credible. I told a story here about my brother-in-law who saw a Bigfoot when they were camping, and in his recollection of that story, it was their dog who alerted them to the fact that something was there. Um, and he claims that it was 8 to 9 feet tall and it was a Bigfoot. Um, so they said that these are very credible witnesses. They're like upstanding people in the community. They're not, people who are known to be, you know, nut jobs. And although they didn't release like what qualifies as a credible witness, but um, and then and I think it was in Ohio that they have a cluster there too, like six, and all in the same area within a couple of miles of each other. So my question is, why now? Why is there all of a sudden, within the last few months, all these reports of Bigfoot clusters?
Mm,
And part of me, part of me thinks, well, could it be related to the documentary?
mm,
You know, could Bigfoot believers um, want to dismiss the documentary. And so something's happening. They're doing something. Um, but that's my cynical me. Because it's ironic that the timing of these clusters just happens to be the same time that this documentary was coming out.
Mm,
Well, maybe Bigfoot got a hold of it and he was like, "Wait a effing minute here. I'm real. I'm gonna put on I'm gonna go out and show people." You know, he might have a cell phone. He could have read the news.
mm,
Um, so it's ironic that it's happening right now when this documentary is coming out. But the group that investigates these things, that's their full-time job. They 100% believe these accounts.
mm,
My brother-in-law said that it stunk really bad. My husband
mm,
said that it was rank, the smell from this thing.
mm.
So, yeah, I think that there are Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yetis, whatever they're called in your location. The weird thing is that how do we never find their bones?
I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah.
Unless they are right. Okay. If you know about Bigfoot, you'll have heard this. So I'm just going to say it. Oh, there is a school of thought that Bigfoot may be extraterrestrial
Mm,
in origin because apparently when there have been Bigfoot sightings, not all the time, some of the time, there will be lights in the sky that can't be explained as well.
hmm
A lot, you can call it, I don't know what the word is, but you can put them together, and two and two starts to sort of add up to four this
Right.
time. Um, that would be one reason why you don't ever find the bones. I don't, if unless there are places that these Bigfoot creatures know, caves or where they go and when they die, like they used to say about the elephant's graveyard.
Yeah.
An elephant would always go to a certain area to die. I, I don't know. I'm just. And do you know who I put? I do put the blame. I put the blame at the government, not just your government. All governments, our governments, is just as bad. If they told the bleeding truth more often, when they're saying that there's no such thing as Bigfoot,
hmm
then and we could all go, well, maybe the government's right. The government released statements about there's no such thing as UFOs, no such thing as Bigfoot, and then I'm more inclined to believe that this that's I'm always inclined to believe the opposite.
Well, if you remember, right smack in the middle of COVID starting, Trump released a statement that said the UFOs were real, but everybody was wearing masks and staying in their house and worried that they were going to die, and so that was like a okay, okay, let's put that in the box for now because right now we got bigger problems to worry about.
Yeah.
I watched this, this is going off on a completely different tangent. I watched this video of this man who his father worked for NASA, and his father told him that they had um, aliens that were human, looked like humans. that worked for them, and he has a photo of one of them in a meeting and showed it to his son, and so his son has come out and started sharing that photo and saying that, you know, that there are some things that are really impossible for science to be able to do without the help of something extraterrestrial,
Mm,
and talking about the fact that his father claims that he worked with him at NASA.
mm.
So, I mean, what about the concept that Bigfoot could be leftover Nephilim?
Oh gosh, that's going deep. That
Giants, they're giants,
yeah, yeah,
and we, in that case, might not ever find their bones.
it's true. I think that's the problem. I think that's the bit that scares people because if you've got a skeptic that doesn't believe anything
Yeah.
and they start to believe Bigfoot's real for
Hmm.
whatever reason, whether it's they have a experience themselves of seeing something or they hear or read something that is really compelling and it tweaks their imagination. If they're going to start to believe in Bigfoot, maybe
Hmm.
ghosts are real, maybe vampires are real, maybe UFOs are real,
Hmm.
maybe, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easier
Yeah.
to believe in nothing than believe in something that which sends you down different
A
rabbit
rabbit
holes.
hole. Yep. Yeah. That's true. I Yeah, I think we're seeing that in the world today as far as political situations as
Oh,
well. If I just put my head in the ground, then I don't have to go down a rabbit hole.
hmm?
And I think that's human nature because it's scary.
We don't like to be scared.
We don't like to be scared. That's right. Now, we have 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. Can
Oh,
I
wow.
change the subject real quick? Because I have some updates that are really important.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
The Texas killing fields, in League City, Texas, where my husband used to work when he was traveling, and we would go visit him there. And I wish I had known at the time that the Texas killing fields were there, because I would have done a story about that. Very famous dumping ground for um, you know, women. Um, they they believe that there was probably more than one serial killer, and that this was the common dumping ground. They found dozens of women in this area. Well, today they arrested a man who they believe is one of two serial killers. The other one has passed. And that is exciting for me, for the families of those women, because they were as young as, I think, 13, and then they went up to like maybe 40s or something. Um, and to get some type of, not, it's not going to be closure, but to get some type of answers. I think that that is crazy. And also the missing scientists that work for NASA and Alamos, what's it called? Los Alamos. The count is up to 10 now, missing scientists. And the the spokesperson for Trump was asked about it in one of their media things yesterday, and they asked her like, what is being done? What is there an investigation? What is happening? And she said, "Oh, we haven't heard anything, and I haven't talked to Trump about it, so." I guess I'll do that because that would be a problem. You haven't heard that the FBI is involved in these cases? Bullshit.
Yeah.
And now there's 10 scientists have gone missing. Where are they? And
Yeah.
these are scientists that found possible life on other planets, found
Mm,
water on other planets,
mm.
created metals that were as thin as tinfoil to use on shuttles, which, by the way, they say that the my mind just went blank. All right, I got you. We're almost done. That they say that the oh, help me, Rob, the famous UFO crash,
Roswell.
Roswell, that they had material from the vehicle that crashed, and it was thin like tinfoil. It's metal. So um, these these scientists are all connected through their work with these types of scientific experiments. We're working on satellites that could shoot missiles out of the sky, but also find life on other planets and water on other planets. They're all involved with the same thing. They're all missing. So I have less than a minute left to wrap this up. So call your local representatives, call your congressman, tell them to look into it because we can't just write this off as a coincidence at 10 people. And um, one of a congressman from a state came out and said that he believes we cannot trust the government in regards to this because they'll want to hide it. So contact your